Welcome to the French Made Easy podcast, where I give you all the basics you need to speak French clearly and confidently. I'm your host, Mathilde, and I'm a French teacher, mompreneur, and bread and cheese lover. Join me as I dive into all things French for beginners and deliver to you bite-sized, easy-to-follow lessons every Tuesday. Let's get started. On commence. Salut à tous! Hi everyone! Welcome back to the French Made Easy podcast. This is episode number 36, numéro 36. Thanks for joining me here. In today's episode, you'll learn the basics of negation in French. First, you'll learn the steps to take to make a sentence negative, and then you'll learn what article to use with negation. So for this episode, I strongly recommend you have your cheat sheet or the transcript in front of you. I've made this lesson as easy for you to understand as possible, but as a beginner, still, it's not the easiest. So make sure you follow along with the cheat sheet. And it's free. After the lesson, make sure you go and download your exercises so you can practice what you've learned. It's also free. Now, are you ready? Vous êtes prêts? C'est parti. So, the negation, not, comes in two parts in French. Ne, pas. Two little words. Ne, pas. Something to note is that ne will become N with an apostrophe before a vowel. So let me repeat that. Not is ne pas or N apostrophe pas in French. Now that we all know that, let's see how to turn a sentence into a negative sentence. Your first step before anything else is to find out the conjugated verb, and I insist on conjugated. For example, I am French is je suis française. We want to turn that sentence into I am not French. So, je suis française. What's the conjugated verb in that sentence? Suis. That's right. Suis is the conjugated verb. Parfait. Now, our second step is to add the negation ne, pas, which means not. So, to do that, you have to place ne before the conjugated verb and pas after the conjugated verb. Donc, je ne suis pas française. I am not French. I've placed ne before the conjugated verb suis, and I've placed pas after the conjugated verb suis. Je ne suis pas française. Now, let's see another example to make sure you've properly understood. J'ai froid. I'm cold. J'ai froid. So what do we do for our first step? We found out the conjugated verb. Here, the conjugated verb is est, A-I, est. Second step, we add ne before the conjugated verb est and pas after the conjugated verb est. Of course, in that sentence, we have to change ne with an apostrophe because the vowel A to be precise, follows it. That gives us je n'ai pas froid. An apostrophe before est and then the pas after est. Je n'ai pas froid. Alright, so that's the steps to create negative sentences. 1. Find out the conjugated verb. 2. Add ne before the conjugated verb and pas after the conjugated verb. Whew, that's a lot of conjugated verb to say in this episode. So now let's move on to part number 2 of the lesson, which is what article to use in negative sentences. So hang on tight because that's getting a tiny bit more complicated. Now, for that next part of the lesson, I need you to make sure you understand properly what the indefinite, definite, and partitive articles are in French. I've got 3 lessons that explain a bit more in depth on what they are. So if you need to, put this episode on pause, go listen to these 3 episodes, and come back to this lesson afterwards. All done? Okay, so when you're turning a sentence negative, the indefinite article, just to remind you, un, une, des, and partitive articles, du, de à l'apostrophe, de la, will be replaced by de, or the apostrophe if a vowel follows. But the definite article le, la, les do not change. So let me just say that again to make sure it's clear. Indefinite and partitive articles will change to de or the apostrophe in negative sentences. Definite article will not change. Now, as you would expect, there are some exceptions, but we'll see that in just a minute. All right, let me just give you some examples. That'll be much easier to understand. I have a car. J'ai une voiture. To turn this sentence negative, we add ne, or in that case, n with an apostrophe, before the conjugative verb, and pas after the conjugative verb. It gives us je n'ai pas. Now, here we have the indefinite article une. So we change it to de. It gives us je n'ai pas de voiture. I've changed une with de because une is an indefinite article. Je n'ai pas de voiture. Another example. I'm watching TV. Je regarde la télé. To transform this sentence into I'm not watching TV, you say je ne regarde pas la télé. Je ne regarde, which is the verb, pas la télé. Here, because la is a definite article, I do not need to change it. Je regarde la télé, je ne regarde pas la télé. Alright, so now as you would expect, there are exceptions to these rules. With the verb être, to be, you do not change the articles, even if they are indefinite or partitive articles. For example, I'm a girl, je suis une fille, je ne suis pas une fille, I'm not a girl. Another example, it's chocolate, c'est du chocolat. Ce n'est pas du chocolat. It's not chocolate. Alright, I hope that makes sense and I hope I didn't overwhelm you too much, but really, that's the basics of negation. There's more to learn about the negation, but that will be for future episodes. Now, as a beginner, that's pretty much all you need to learn for now. So that's the end of the lesson. If you would like this episode, let me know and leave me a review on Apple Podcast. It helps a lot. Now, don't forget to download your lessons exercises. It's free. Thanks for your time. I'll talk to you next week. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt. Hey, it's me again. Before you go, I just wanted to let you know that if you are struggling with French pronunciation, I am excited to announce my new and free beginner's audio guide. It's called 5-Step Roadmap to Effortless French Pronunciation. It's really designed to simplify your French pronunciation journey and to make it less overwhelming for you. So if you are a beginner starting or restarting to learn French and you want to improve your French pronunciation, then this audio guide is perfect for you. And obviously, you'll also get a transcript with the audio guide so you can follow along while you listen. So click the link inside your podcast notes to access your audio guide. It is free. À bientôt. Bye.